What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more classical music, and we're back with a tune from Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky. Now, I mentioned I'm going to react to a symphony from Dvorak. I want to react to his Seventh Symphony. I have a very good version as performed by the Chicago Symphony Orchestra and conducted by James Levine. But before I get there, I wanted to do a couple one-off pieces just to keep these classical reactions going. And ultimately, one that stuck out to me to do is the Capriccio Italien by Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky. I mentioned before, Amadeus and Naxos are two labels that I used in my late teens and early 20s, late 90s, early 2000s, to amass a large CD collection of classical music, in part because I had just taken a history of classical music course in my first semester in college, and it was like a very sort of eye-opening and sort of emotionally rewarding experience going through that course and listening to the sort of different styles of classical music as it evolved and so on, and what we call the Western world, because it was called like Western classical music. Nevertheless, I did get a number of Amadeus CDs because I think most of them that I got back then were like $2.99, so it was like $3 for great classical music, and I got like dozens of them. But this is a performance by the Philharmonia Kosovia, sorry, and the conductor is Johannes Wildner. And this was recorded at the House of Arts in Kosice from the 9th of June to the 12th of June, 1990. And this piece, I've always loved it a lot. It has it has different sections. It's emotional, but also dramatic and powerful. And it just has that sort of inimitable style of Tchaikovsky. So, yeah, those of you who know this piece will surely be excited. It is about 15 minutes long, so we'll get right to it. So again, this is Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky and his Capriccio Italien, as performed by the Philharmonia Kosovia and conducted by Johannes Wildner in 1990. Rhythmic, sort of like steady rhythmic markers. Ba-da-da-dun, ba-da-da-dun. I don't know if they're trumpets. I think it is brass, but is that a clarinet and an oboe? Water splashing off a coastline, like a rocky coastline. If you're the guy with that big crash cymbal, you're like, this is my moment. way too strong, but uncertain. Just when you think you have a sort of handle on the piece, right? It's like, oh, it's sort of dark and a little foreboding, but wait, no. I love that. Like multiple rhythmic sort of phrases going now. A little flourish by the strings. I've seen this performed live a couple different times. Once by the Pacific Symphony Orchestra, for sure, under the conduction of Carl St. Clair. Forget who the other version may have been. Sounds very celebratory, almost carnival-like, and yet it's hard not to think sort of a Clockwork Orange a little bit here. I know that's about Beethoven's Ninth more than anything else, but like, it's sort of like the irony of some of the music in that film, novel. Felt like there was a moment where celebratory was carnival-like, but almost like with a wicked sarcasm or something. And now, another shift. Beautiful, but I remember when I first heard this, it was like, I mean, I give up. I didn't even know where we, like, I thought we were kind of dark and brooding and then celebratory, but now we're kind of like bounding over the mountaintops to like, you know, untold horizons that no one has ever ventured to. There's ambition in this. Now it has sort of like a sailing along the ocean kind of feel. I mean, maybe my brain's crazy, but I feel like this piece explores lots of different sonic territories. Now, it would be interesting to know, and maybe some of you out there will be more knowledgeable, if these different movements all relate to like different traditional Italian dances or something. Maybe that's the case. Sounds like Beethoven's Ninth a little right there. I don't know if it's a simple, but there's a rhythmic ting, ting, ting. Bellwether is back, but it feels a little more forceful now, a little more serious. To shift into still yet uncharted territory, but the serious vibe will continue to increase. Something big is coming, it feels like. And sonically, there is. And then now this kind of like medieval, like secular music feel in a second here. We're the court performers. And then suddenly it launches from this into utter ferocity as we race toward the crescendo. And then finally, fulfillment, completion, and back into that. But now more triumphant and grand than ever. Interesting percussion, just all the different sort of drums, and I don't know if there's a tambourine or if it's, again, I'm not sure all the instruments at play, but the percussion in this piece is more like rhythmic and prominent than percussion in many other pieces. around maybe, I don't know. All the while, I don't know if it's the timpani, but you can hear the building and building. And then it'll just like, it sprints to the end. We're kind of galloping, jogging, but now let's go. Need like fireworks. Someone shoot fireworks. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Wicked. It's always been one of my favorite pieces, and like, you know, I've heard other versions. I probably listened to this one the most because I've had this CD again for now like 20 years maybe. But yeah, no matter who is conducting and who the orchestra is, this piece just kills it. So big ups to Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky. I am a fan of several other of his sort of one-off pieces. Maybe the most famous, the 1812 Overture. I'm a big fan of that one, and I've seen it performed live a number of times because the Pacific Symphony Orchestra did the summer concert series, and the final concert of every series was this outdoor concert where they would finish with the 1812 and they'd shoot fireworks and so on. So I've heard that one played a lot. I do like that. But also on this same release is the Romeo and Juliet Fantasy Overture. Fantastic. But then maybe my favorite piece ever by Tchaikovsky is on here, March Slav. So that's the last one I'm going to do before I get to Dvorak's 7 Symphonies. So if you enjoyed this, if you're enjoying the classical reactions, do let me know. But look forward to hearing Tchaikovsky's March Slav because I think it's an amazing piece. And again, it's one that has like notably different sections, although in that piece it's more of an alternation between the two instead of a seemingly constant evolution as this piece is. So yeah, if you're interested, come back for my reaction to March Slav. Other than that, thank you for listening and watching. I do appreciate it. I will see you next time. Peace.